Hey guys, Dave here, and welcome back to another episode of Press C for Carnage. Or we had to take another break. We're getting our knots untangled here. So joining me as always is Jordan Collin.
Yo, what's up?
Yo.
And unfortunately, the female guest Megan will not be with us because she has a frog in her throat.
She literally has lost her voice.
Yeah. So Jordan obviously got yelled at one too many times this week.
Me and the kids both, but yes.
Yeah. So kicking off today because I was heavily unprepared, but I do have one rant, but that's later. So kicking us off is Jordan with an article.
Yo, so we have 4 articles here to talk about. The first one being from IGN.com. So we have a lawsuit over fatal Call of Duty swatting incident. This is one that happened years ago. Has now just been settled for $5 million. The lawsuit filed by the family of a 28-year-old Andrew Finch went on for 5 years.
Just so you know, for swatting, what this is referring to is that two people were in a Call of Duty match, is what he's going to explain. But one person called the cops on another person about a murder or something, and then the cops would storm that person's house.
Usually it's like a kidnapping or something.
So what it is one person's calling the cops on another person over a video game.
So here's a snippet from the article. So it says, quote, the swatting incident stemmed from an argument between Casey Viner and Shane Gaskill during an online match in Call of Duty World War II in December of 2017. Viner made a hoax call to the police, and Gaskill gave a false address to Tyler Barris, a serial swatter who ultimately made a false report of a hostage situation and a murder. The SWAT then surrounded Finch's house, and when Finch, who was unaware of the situation, stepped outside to see what was going on, Rapp immediately shot Finch in the chest from 40 yards away, even though he didn't pose a threat to the police or others on the scene. End quote from the article. So essentially this was just an innocent bystander that didn't deserve to lose his life. A horrible series of events that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, especially, in, you said what, 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
When the police corruption was, at its starting point.
Wow.
Police are on edge, trigger happy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, I don't want to set on any side, so you also got to put your mind in this. I haven't read the article, but you have to put yourself in all the policemen's eyes, that you're going into a dangerous scenario.
No, and
very dangerous situation, right?
Right.
And that this person ultimately did a gag, a hoax to gain a little advantage. Like how low how much of a dirtbag can you be to do this to somebody?
I know, it's terrible. So here's the rest of the article. Rapp is the last name of the cop who shot the poor gentleman. He has no criminal charges filed against him, nor was he investigated by the Wichita police for any potential policy violations, even though he was previously passed over for promotion for lack of sound judgment. He was ultimately promoted to detective last year. As for the $5 million settlement, Finch's family spokesperson, Alma Ann Jones, said that she was glad the community helped bring closure to the case. It has been, this is quote, "It has been difficult to say the very least," end quote, Jones said. Quote, "I have watched this family go through disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, and finally we came together as a community. We got this done," end quote. So it took 5 years for them to get a settlement from the city council of $2 million. Because I guess they're the ones that are going to pay for it, because the actual cop who shot the gentleman was not found guilty. So the city council was found guilty in that regards. Someone had to pay something, like even if it didn't fall on the cop who shot the poor guy, somebody had to get the blame and pay for the...
Yeah, I assume it boiled down to lack of training, which would fall onto the
city council /
city
department. Yeah. Right.
I mean, again, I don't want to choose sides, but it obviously is a poor judgment call for this officer.
Right. I just think sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, to get off the subject of the officer being guilty or not guilty, I still think the fact that the SWAT happened to begin with is complete bull. And anyone listening, if you even think about doing such a thing, I don't even want to hear your name. Like, I don't want to know you as a person. I don't even want to know you exist because this is sociopathic behavior right here. You do not put people in danger just because you are angry at a video game. That is ridiculous. Like, if you're that angry, change video games. Play a different game. Like, or go to a different lobby even. You don't need to do this to people. This is ridiculous.
This is a very weirdly written article. I don't understand. I'm just like reading it and I'm very confused on how some of this went down. But yeah, no, don't call SWAT on people unless you
the article is
have...
probably written on eggshells. Like,
yeah, they had to oh, sorry.
They had to be non-biased in their article too. So
true. Yeah, they can't just do accusations, or they couldn't write it in such a way that their personal feelings came across. It's written in facts. It's all facts.
Not the facts. It says Viner, the guy who made a hoax call to the police, and Gaskill, who was the other person in the match,
who gave the false address.
Yeah, to Tyler Baris, a serial swatter. So they called the guy who called the guy. Who called the police, yeah. So it's between Casey and Shane, but it seems that they're both involved with it, though. Because it says, the SWAT incident stemmed from an argument between Casey Viner and Shane Gaskill. Viner made a hoax call to the police, and Gaskill gave a false address to Tyler Barris. So
okay, so
it seems like both of them called the swatters.
Yeah,
not to make light of anything.
No. I'm looking at a separate article here that I found related to that incident. This was, I don't know when this was written. It doesn't say at the top. This is from good2.com. It says, where is Tyler Baris now, and what happened to Shane Gaskill and Casey Vayner? The swatting crime in Web of Make-Believe explained. So there's a six-part series on Netflix apparently called Web of Make-Believe: Death Lies in the Internet. It's like a documentary, and one of the cases that's in there is the case of this incident, of the swatting incident. So,
it said Barris, the guy who did end up calling, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for involuntarily manslaughter with something that also happened in Canada.
Yeah, he pled 51 charges. Yeah.
And then Viner was only sentenced to 15 months.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They gave it a 2-year ban, but that's just as of today. You know, I don't think Viner is done with any prosecution. But back to the beginning, what you said with the whole false address thing.
Yes.
I think what they're saying is the false address, quote unquote, the victim address is the false address. So they're just saying that they gave the victim's address for the swatting, and that's obviously what went down. They're just saying the false address was, let's say there was an actual hostage situation somewhere in the city. This is the false address that they end up going to. They're just playing their words carefully.
It sounds like what happened here is that Shane Gaskill and Tyler Barris are buddies, and they were like working together to do the swatting or something. Or like Shane is friends with Tyler, knew Tyler was a frequent swatter, and he was like, hey dude, could you swat this guy? He gave me his address. And they're referring to Casey, because Casey was in an argument with Shane. So Shane passed that fake address on to Tyler, who then, known as a chronic swatter, swatted that address and then got this gentleman killed. So that's
maybe they did they incorrectly posted the name, because again, it makes it sound like both, like Viner called the police and then Gaskill also tried to do a SWAT thing.
If I'm reading this correctly, from what it looks like Shane and Gaskill are friends, and Shane passed off the fake address that Casey gave him from the argument to Tyler, who then called the SWAT. So that's what it says.
Viner made a hoax call to the police, that's what's confusing. But other than that,
Oh yeah, you're right. It does say that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It does say that.
Regardless, somebody's dead over this.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing.
And these guys got caught doing it. You know, and it's a shame that it went down this way. And even though it is a hoax, you know, just to bring up the police one more time, how is drawing, and this is the problem that's been going on right now, is how is it that their first reaction in a hostage situation, they don't know it's a hoax, that they fire? How do they know there's not more people inside that are just that are just gonna create homicide and then eventually suicide? Like,
Well,
the reaction to this police officer is injustice and unprecedented. President, I guess.
I was gonna say injustice.
Phrase.
I was confused.
Sorry, unprecedented. That his first reaction is to shoot. He has absolutely no idea what the situation is inside.
Well, to be honest, we don't know that because it never mentioned how they were swatted. Because, like you said, hostage situations might be what a SWAT team is called for. But for all we know, Tyler called and said to the police, "Hey, at this address, I have information that a single man is planning to make a bomb and bomb this very important government building."
And of course, but if we're talking actual SWAT, they are heavily trained to shoot second. Heavily trained.
Okay.
To protect everybody in this surrounding vicinity. So to shoot first, it just seems like I hate to go into the politics, but I just seem like it's poor training, it's poor judgment.
Right.
It really brings his character to life and his judgment on reality. So, yeah. So, should he lose his job over it? No. Should he be promoted? No.
Agreed with that.
This just highlights, and this happened 6 years ago. This highlights the problem we're having in today's world.
So I know we're kind of drifting off into not political in any way, but like the guilty or not guilty, or my question is, how would you guys, because we're kind of getting out of the topic of video games, but let's try to go back into the video game subject of swatting specifically related to video games. Because video games are one of the major reasons swatting happens, because it's happened because of video games like 90% of the time over the last 5-10 years. What are you guys' solution to the problem? Do you think because SWAT teams have to react immediately in these situations, whether or not
the solution is being discreet about your online profile.
Right. Yeah.
And unless you are on a pro team and you've gone, you've butted heads with somebody on your team, that's the only way your address will be known.
Well, that's actually, but that's the thing. They did. These people arguing didn't give their real address, because remember, the argument was between Viner and Gaskill, and it was Finch who was killed. This guy gave Google random address and then gave it to him. He was protecting his own identity by giving the identity of someone else. So that's the problem. That's protecting your own. I
guess it's. What the solution is beyond me. It shouldn't be a thing regardless. And all it took was one
mistake.
I believe streamers have done this to themselves, where they created their own SWAT incident, where they called the police on themselves to have the content of them being swatted and arrested right in front of their camera, then eventually released. And that's, at least from what I know, that's how it would originate. It's.
As far as I know, I just looked it up. As far as I know, there hasn't been any evidence to prove that streamers are swatting themselves. There has not been any evidence to prove that. No.
SWAT, based on the videos I've seen of people telling of these SWAT incidents, it's given them PTSD.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, maybe not swatting, but police interactions, police knocking on your door, and it just.
Before we change subjects, I just wanted to clarify. So I looked it up. I found it. Viner contacted co-defendant Tyler Burris and asked him to swat Gaskill. Viner thought Gaskill lived at address blank, 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 blank. In fact, Gaskill gave Viner and Barris a false address. Barris called Wichita police and reported a hostage situation at address blank, 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 blank.
Oh, it was a hostage situation.
So,
Then that police officer should have been punished more severely, because
that could have been a hostage running out with no weapon.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been. That's my point. That's my point.
No. Your point is justified now.
Yeah.
Now
it was always justified. It could have been the actual murder, or the what's the right word I'm looking for here? the criminal coming out that door, even if he had some kind of weapon in his hand. They were trained not to shoot first. That's one person. They have no idea what's going on around them.
Right.
To shoot first. And the moment, anybody hears a bullet, panic sets in. Unless you're trained fucking, Navy SEAL or military, you're going to be scared shitless. You're not going to think right. You're going to react differently. And anyways, this is going on longer than it should.
Yeah.
But still do swatting.
No swatting. Bad.
No.
Don't be mad. Get glad.
Do swatting if you actually have good intentions of saving someone. Don't swat if you're a 5-year-old on Fortnite and hate the guy in VC because he said he screwed your mom.
Yeah, but at the same time, I want to hear that 911 call about the person explaining the swatting. It, like, for the police to react, as such. It just, there's so many. Obviously, what I'm saying is justified because of this lawsuit being granted. That all the chains of commands, responded poorly. So, anyway, this just irritates me, in the world of video games, and that when here we are trying to promote video games and how healthy it is for the world now, and here we have this shit on the sidelines creeping up. No wonder fucking moms and dads don't want us playing games. Like,
I'm sorry for bringing it up. I'm sorry for ruining the mood.
No. You have every right to. You have every right to. It's this.
It's
good
to bring up issues.
I should have picked a different article. I guess. I'm sorry.
No, and to top it off, of all the Call of Duty games talking about, World War II.
Yeah, right.
That's the fucking Call of Duty we're talking about. Like, come on.
Yeah, right.
Just get good.
Get good. Okay, we're gonna end that horrible story up with get good. All right. Next article here. Activision. This is from Engadget. Activision accused of illegally firing game testers who opposed a return to office after COVID. A major union says Activision retaliated against outspoken workers. So this is really fucked up. I am extremely upset with this, and not only just because Activision Blizzard's record has already been tarnished to no end by terrible bro culture, sexism, potentially racism from what I've heard for a few allegations, but mostly sexist behavior. This is terrible. Can they not learn to help themselves from being like literally the villain from those old cartoons? Like, this is ridiculous.
I mean, why do they care? I mean, they're going to be no, seriously. Why should they care about their public image? The court is saying that they're probably going to be allowed to be bought out by Microsoft, and the deal's basically going to go through because Microsoft wants COD. So, what do they care?
Yeah, I guess. I just
they're like slowly releasing all the skeletons in their closet.
And remember that the more they cut off in excess, if they fire all those people and get no backlash from it, but they did. But if they had got no backlash, think they'd save a few $1,000s or a lot of money, and that $69 billion acquisition would go line the CEO's pockets more.
Right.
So it's
do you think this is a conspiracy? Do you think Activision is slowly like lowering their value to the world, the monopoly? Yeah, like they're trying to savor as much of the billions of dollars they're trying to get from Microsoft by these public stunts. Like,
I disagree. I disagree. I think they're literally just
this lawsuit.
I think they're literally just stupid.
Well, no, of course. Now, the actual topic of returning to the office, this is actually something that a lot of businesses outside of the game community is trying to enforce.
Right.
But of all fields, to force coders and game developers and any person that works on a goddamn computer to return to an office of all fields.
Actually, to be fair, incorrect. For video games, it's good to have them in-house. Think about security risks. I mean, think about what happened with GTA 6. It got leaked.
And I understand that, but are you telling me I don't know how many people are...
Yeah, of course.
They're talking about here, but let's say there's 50,000, not 50. Let's say there's 20,000 employees. Not all of them are going to have access to that golden information.
I mean,
the people that do will always from the start of COVID will still be going into that building. Like, end of story.
So I mean, I found several. Just sorry to interrupt you. I was gonna say real quick to correct Colin. I found several articles that have said productivity can go up from anywhere between 13 to 77% productivity if you work from home. So
when did I ever say anything about productivity?
Well, you were saying the benefits of going to the office.
I said security benefits. I said that people staying home might be able to more easily leak games and such. That's my only argument.
And probably
that was my only
Well,
argument.
that's easily solved by literally just like what's it called? Computer. Fuck, I can't speak.
Yeah, like an in-house laptop.
Correct. Thank you. You knew exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Yes,
I do because yeah, my mother who works for a disability, like government disability program.
Oh, okay.
She had to work from home, and she had that. She had
company laptop. Right.
She had a company laptop that was like at all hours 24/7 monitored by a tech. Like,
right.
She couldn't do a thing on there without visually being seen by this
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for security reasons, but I'm against that partially because they can use that against you on like your end of year review. They could be like, "Oh, we noticed that during COVID, while you were working from home, when we were checking your laptop activity data, you were only working 4 hours a day, but you were claiming 8." Like, no, fuck you. I was
actually no. If they're paying you for 8 hours, you shouldn't be only working 4.
I disagree. If you can get the work that they give you done in that time, then do it.
If you can get the work
like
done,
I don't know what the parameters were, but my mother, she's on a contract basis. It's salary up here in Canada. There's no if you're on a salary, you don't have to work X amount of hours. You just have to get the full work. The full job description done in the time frame of a month.
Right.
So it could be, your normal 4 hours is 40 hours a week before overtime. She might have to work 80 hours a week, but that's what she signed up for. So it does go both ways. But anyways, it just the point. Back to this article. Unless you are working on very sensitive information and codes that should only be seen by a handful of 10 people.
Right.
There's no reason for all these people to go back to the office.
I completely agree. I think
even if they're designing a fucking arm, a gym bag, a goddamn blog, like why the fuck are you bringing these people? Why are you still paying for an office to begin with?
Agreed. And that's one of the things I have an issue with is these companies could save so much money if they just close down these offices and like
all they need is their server building and that's it.
Yes.
My mom's did that. She they've outsourced they sent everyone home and everyone has like their own office. Like they got company supplied computers and they work from home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
And I bet they save thousands and thousands of dollars.
They do. They do. She has claimed that, and their boss has said it too. Like they save lots of money.
Yes,
but it's control over what's happening.
Of course. But at the end of the day, if the job's done, the job's done.
Agree. That's what I'm trying to say. If the job is done, the job is done. Like, yeah. I mean, my thing is, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying the same thing 10 different ways here. It's like I can understand if you're like I can't understand of all the fields of all the fields that we're talking about here. We're talking about game development. We're talking about Activision. If anything, it should have been this is the first field to work from home.
Right.
Why are you bringing people back? Like, do you distrust your staff that much?
It was.
I think it's culture. I think it's just office culture. I don't think it's a trust issue because if it was a trust issue, they would have kept them there during COVID.
Yes, but if it's an office culture, then whoever is close within the building will still be in touch with each other. They'll still be in a group. If anything, they'll be happier. Like nothing. You're taking people who get to wake up, let's say, 20 minutes before their shift.
Right.
And do the thing, have a coffee, be at their leisure. Don't have to worry about smelling good.
Right.
Now you're forcing them to wake up. We're talking about Activision here. They probably have a 2-hour commute to work.
That's the biggest thing for me too is commuting, dude. Oh my god.
That is the biggest drag. And I see. I for my job for the business I own, I drive 20 hours a day, and that's fine. But if I have to drive an hour to get to my job, that's a big deal.
Right, and that's one of my things about getting paid hourly too. Though, is you don't get paid for commute. So if like you have to drive 2 hours, I used to have to drive an hour and a half, which was 80 miles one way on the interstate back and forth to work. I did that shit for 2 years, dude. Like I was doing like 14-hour days because they would have mandatory overtime, 12-hour days. I was doing like 14-hour days because by the time I got home, it was already 14 hours into the day. I would just crash, dude. I was just...
And that is, you can't tell me that that's healthy for the brain. You know, and when I finish my job, I don't care if I lose an hour's sleep. I always watch at least an hour of something. I eat something and I talk to my goddamn wife before I go to bed.
Right.
Like, you can't tell me it's healthy to take these creative minds that are giving us this awesome and your lucrative avenue and forcing them to have these long ass days commutes, potentially getting into accidents and
God knows what. When I was doing those hour and a half drives, dude, I was oh god, I was in traffic so much, dude. I was in traffic so much. I was getting accidents like 100 times during that 2 years. Like it was terrible.
We've all been there, even though college you're in school, but we've all had that like just terrible day. In our eyes, it was the worst day, and you got to spend fucking. It could be 10 minutes in traffic.
Yes,
that takes such a toll, and then you go home and you're angry, and it just the downfall of this from Activision is absolutely absurd, in my opinion.
I mean, I've been reading the article while you're talking, and while I agree that working from home is good, I think the case that they're bringing up, this one specifically, nothing against like working from home. I think it's all great to be able to work from home. I couldn't do it. I cannot separate work from home, so I have to be at work one way or the other. I would have trouble with it only because I'm the kind of person that would rush through the work in such a way that I would do my 8-hour job in like 4 hours if I could, and then just be like, all right, I'm done for the day because I completed everything. But as soon as I found out that they were like, hey, we're monitoring you, we noticed you did your work in half the time, we're going to give you double the work now because we know you're fast, I'm going to be like, nope, sorry, I'm slowing down now because now I got to do it in 8 hours.
But I mean, so instead of leaving that trust there, then instead of forcing everybody to come back, make it so give them the option. Okay, here's a contract. If you provide us these standards, you can stay at home. If you don't, you'll have to come back to the office, go back to our normal work so that you can be supervised. Some people have to be supervised.
Right, and that's true. It's personality. Yeah, everyone's got
that's just nature. But give them the opportunity to prove to stay home. Like
I wanted to mention that the article in question says that two people, quality assurance testers, who objected to a hybrid plan that required them to be at work, like in-house, 3 days a week by April 10th, used strong language against the company, saying they will not do that, and that is why they were fired, because the company said it was retaliation against staff who joined the protective labor activity, which means that they were going against the norm of the people who actually just went back to work. Not defending the illegal firing, you shouldn't do that.
Well, besides the point,
they were offered it.
Besides the point that they use strong language in opposition, that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is, 3 days a week, if it's, I don't know. I have an issue with them trying to force this on people. Like, if you got hired, let's say they got hired on during COVID, and their entire job description was, you do this thing from home until we say otherwise or whatever. Or like, it was in their job description when they got hired on. Let's say they got hired on during COVID. Now all of a sudden they're saying, oh, you need to come in for 3 days a week. I'm sorry, you live 2 hours away. I'm sorry, you need to come in for 3 days a week, and you can work from home the rest.
Yeah.
Like that,
they're hiring people that probably live much farther away than that.
Yeah, I would use strong language too. I'd be like, shove it up your ass.
and you know, unfortunately, COVID introduced this to the world, and they have to realize that COVID opened up a whole other work avenue. You can't go back to the old.
No.
Like this is life now. And for quality testing, yes, okay, then you have to come into the office for the quality test for privacy reasons.
I was gonna say that's for trust. Yeah, that's a security thing.
For that, sure.
But I disagree. I disagree though, because sorry to interrupt you. I was gonna say there are game. I don't want to call them quality assurance because they're not that. But there are people who like streamers, video game reviewers on YouTube that have really big followings. They get early access copies to video games all the time, like closed beta copies that are technically QA copies. They are QA copies, and they are legally abided to not disclose any of the information from those games, and they do it fine. Hundreds of them do it fine. Like, why can't QA?
But that's a specific thing given to those people. That's not what quality assurance does not mean that you're allowed to do that. That's a completely different contract these developers are giving.
Okay, it's a different job. Yes,
access.
it's a different job, but it's the same outcome. They are both these two things. This streamer, they're the streamer / video game reviewer on YouTube, and this QA person the outcome is the same. They're both getting a copy of a game that has a security issue / potential avenue for people to see the game early, to get access to it early, to criticize it early. Those two jobs are the same in that regard. They both get copies of the game that are early, unfinished, and need to be tested and or looked at, reviewed, or you know what I mean? Like that's the same thing. Those are the same thing.
But that's like saying that equality. That's like saying that the promos at E3 or wherever that people can just come up and play early access of the game that's what you're saying.
No. That's not the same. That's not the same because those are made. No. Those are made specifically for large groups of people to see in the open and for journalists. Those expos are specifically for journalists.
Yeah, you don't think that You don't think that the company giving early access is also thinking that it's just good publicity? That you think, like, you've played early access games on Steam, haven't you?
Yes.
Those aren't quality assurance things. You're not getting the product that they're testing. You're getting a full working release that can work, but there's still quality assurance that's going on behind.
Yes, that's a whole other subject. But you're literally proving my point. You're literally proving my point. Early access people, if you buy an early access game on Steam, you are literally a quality assurance tester. You are literally doing the job of a quality assurance tester, and I will not agree to anything otherwise. You are literally a beta tester / quality assurance tester. You know why? Because as soon as something happens, you send a report through Steam that your game crashes. It comes up with a little window. It says your game crashed. Would you like to send a report to the publisher / game developer saying exactly what was wrong? You say yes, because that's just what you do. And then now they got a report of it. You are now a QA tester.
But it's two different things.
No, that is literally the same thing.
Okay, there's a difference between an in-house quality assurance
and
out.
I disagree.
Okay. Let us look like this. When we test betas, we're betas. When streamers test it, there's alphas, then there's pre-alpha. So let's just say what Colin's referred to is pre-alpha.
Correct, but those
get the alpha.
But those QA testers.
No, I understand what we're saying. I understand what both of you are saying. The streamers are used as quality assurance. That's what the streamers are being used for.
Any early access player.
I understand that. Yes, that is true.
But what Colin's referred to is, but even before that.
Okay, and that's
the streamers see what they see.
Right.
That's what Colin's referring to.
And I understand that, but the outcome is still the same, whether it be an alpha, a beta, or early access semi-full release.
Of course.
The security is still an issue with those two things. They're identical in that regard. That's what I'm saying. So the argument of that being a problem with somebody who works from home as a QA tester is completely null and void. That's what I'm saying.
But they're not. They are different.
No, they're not.
No, it is. You have a quality assurance person who's in-house. They're doing a job. They're testing your game. Can I finish?
Hold on. Sure.
Let me finish.
You finish.
Let me finish. So you have an in-house quality assurance tester,
right?
And they're testing the game.
Okay.
They are on your payroll and have stuff that they are not letting it be shown to the public because it is not ready for the public viewing.
Okay, again.
Like the leaks of the GTA 6 game. But when they do public betas...
I'm not talking about public. I'm talking about a streamer or a video game reviewer.
Or when they do streamers, that is a finished portion of the game that they are allowing the world to see.
That is those are not. They don't do. Never mind. It's fine. We're done. We're done talking about it. We'll just agree to disagree. I am going to move on. I'm just gonna finish this section off with the fact that I would like to reiterate: if your job is able to be worked from home, I am firmly in the belief that you should be able to do so. So I'm just gonna end it with it there.
Okay, so for all of you listening to this podcast, I'm gonna draw up on our Twitter, press C #4 Carnage, this Activision scandal, and let us know your thoughts on whether they have the right to do so or not.
Yeah.
Right.
So moving forward, let's move to a happier. Maybe not so much happier. So let's do a shout. Let's for all the negative. So let's do a shout out that
happier,
posted
sure,
about,
sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of happier. Like we're gonna remember this guy. It's so Colin posted in our Discord something about the Intel co-founder Gordon Moore passing. So Colin, why don't you go on about that?
Well, I don't know much about him, but I just thought it'd be interesting to bring up that the man who created Moore's Law has passed away. For all those who do not know, Moore's Law predicted that the number of transistors in integrated circuits would grow exponentially. That's what kind of makes your phone works, and that it would grow forever and ever, getting more powerful and more powerful.
So I was going to say, sorry to interrupt. I was going to say for the layman's version of that, it's literally just technology will double in efficiency and effectiveness every 2 years as a result of increased technology. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But I just wanted to bring that up before break. We're gonna go break on that after this.
Sure. Yeah. Colin's like, I need a break.
I have to go potty.
Well, no, I mean this is kind of like the halfway point.
No, you're right.
Looking
It
at
is.
the articles.
Yeah. No, and it's just sad to see that this guy go.
I mean, it is, but it also isn't. He died at a healthy age of 94.
Oh,
my God.
Of course. But this guy is literally since the 20th century touched every person on this planet.
Right.
So I think a good shout out to him.
Definitely shout out. Definitely.
And
Definitely
for all those
long
wondering, he died peacefully, surrounded by his family in Hawaii. He had a good send off. So.
Oh, just so since we're talking about deaths of notable people, let's bring this up. Let's bring this up before we go to break. Lance Reddick has passed away at the age of 61. On March 17th. We missed it because we didn't have a podcast the last few weeks. We apologize for that. For anyone who doesn't know, his most recent video game contribution is he was the voice of Zavala, the Titan NPC from Destiny 2. And in fact, he was actually playing Destiny 2 the night he passed away. So rest in peace, Lance. We loved you as Zavala. We loved you as every actor you ever played.
Every character, John Wick, The Wire, Fringe.
Oh God, he was so good in
Resident
Fringe.
Evil.
Yeah. Resident Evil was terrible, but he actually was the best part of that show. Literally the best part.
It's Lance Reddick, man. This guy's healthy. I don't know if you just Google Lance Reddick and find like a topless pic of him, man. He is ripped. He is healthy.
I don't know how he died, dude. He is ripped.
This guy, it is an unfortunate passing.
It is terrible.
And I really hope with the AI, we're going to talk about this too, with the AI technology. I really hope that they carry his voice forward. There's no reason.
Obviously they're going to have to get family approval for that, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
Well, of course, but I really hope this happens because for all you that are into Destiny 2, losing Zavala would be terrible.
Yeah, they just to finish this off before the break, they did actually have thousands of players have done a like a 21 gun salute essentially to his NPC in the game for the last few weeks, so nonstop. So the community loves him. They've definitely supported him, and we all remember him well. So rest in peace, Lance. So all right, I think we should go to break. We'll see you guys after we get back.
I can't stop getting sweat all over my Xbox controller. Whatever shall I do?
Has this ever happened to you? Well, have I got the product for you? Introducing Clam-Wow, the all-new, definitely not made from real clams, product to fix that disgusting excrement you humans call sweat. Just one simple wipe, and you're back to kicking butt in no-build Fortnite. Call today, and Clam-Wow can be yours for 3 easy payments of your soul.
And we're back from break. Did you guys have a good break?
Yeah.
Yeah? I got some raspberry tea in my big old yellow cup here.
How was your break, Carnage?
Dave.
My break was good. Got myself a cup of coffee,
Very nice, very nice.
Try to stay nice and hype and motivated for you guys.
For me specifically, because we're just that kind of.
No, not you. Not talking in his microphone for you.
Oh man. All right, so let's move on to this last article before we move on to the games we're playing or forward to playing. This is from Engadget. The title is Ubisoft's new Ghostwriter AI tool can automatically generate video game dialogue. The machine learning tool frees up writers to focus on bigger areas of gameplay. So I brought this up because there's a bigger topic here of AI becoming good. Like Carnage, I've been messing with your voice, as you know, in an AI voice recreator. And I'm going to play a little bit of snippet here real quick. It's like 18 seconds long so the podcast can hear it. Here, I'm going to play it. 3, 2, 1.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yellow, black. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow. Let's shake it up a little.
All right, and yeah, that was the clip. So as you can see, I made that with a software that only needs like a sentence and a half of dialogue. It's 11 labs is what it's called. It only needs like a sentence and a half to 2 sentences of dialogue, and it recreated Carnage's voice or Dave's voice perfectly. Like I want to say 99% perfect. Like there's a bit of a
if anything, better, because I don't speak that fluently. Now, keep in mind, I have never said the word "bee" to Jordan ever. Never.
Except
never.
just now.
Yeah, I don't say the word "bee." So.
Oh, actually,
Yeah,
that's a lie. That is a lie. When we play Grounded, you said "bee" a lot.
But did you ever record me saying "bee"?
I mean, I could easily look up a recording of you saying "bee."
I mean,
the point is,
to be honest, you've probably told J-Man to be quiet on multiple occasions.
Be quiet. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The point is that this AI technology, you can just literally steal somebody's voice and recreate it, and people have done it with Robin Williams, I believe you guys have said before.
Yeah, or a lot of passed away actors have had their voices.
Which is why I said before the break that AI can carry on with Lance's voice in Destiny through this technology,
preferably with approval.
Of course. Now I believe technically Bungie owns the rights to his voice already.
I don't think that's how that works, but no. They own his not his likeness. They own his performance of Zavala specifically. They don't own anything past that.
Right, but for every word that he has spoken in recording for Bungie, I believe.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't want to get into a whole scandal here, but I would be shocked if the family doesn't release his voice, or
for them to continue using in the game or whatever,
in memoriam of his character. So it all depends on the true relationship that he had with Bungie, really.
Right.
And I think time will tell how
I mean, seeing as he was playing the game, like we mentioned, playing the game as he passed or before he passed, I mean, I think it'd be pretty decent-ish.
Yeah, of course. But there, it's it'll be cool to see. So feel free to listen to that clip over and over.
Right.
Yeah. But there's a few other clips that he made that I unfortunately can't share with you.
Very inappropriate. They're
very inappropriate. Again, words I have never spoken to this man.
If you would like to listen, please join my Discord.
And I mean, it's not just vocal either. There's AI chat you can get that'll create like the first paragraph of a novel for you.
Yeah.
A few of our commercials we actually used the chat.
Quite a few of them we have.
Times.
For like scripts.
And
which
really
segues us into this topic about how they're using AI as ghostwriters for games.
And this is actually, but thank you for bringing us back, Colin. I greatly appreciate that. So the reason I brought this up was because there's a conundrum here, right? So like you have the problem of the people who were going to write those dialogue are now potentially losing their job, or they're going to cut down on those jobs. But then the other side of it is as we've experienced ourselves as a small podcast, we've used ChatGPT and AI to create, scripts that we, as a basis that we can then, I almost said interpret. That's not the word I'm looking for. To adjust. We can make adjustments to a script that an AI created, and it just gives us a basis to start from, like a rough draft. Like that's So we kind of sit. I mean, I specifically, I don't know about you guys, but I sit on both sides of the fence of like this is good and bad because it could cause issues. I don't know. I just want to know what you guys' opinions were because I don't want to be hypocritical because we are using it for our own needs for like commercials and stuff. And I'm probably going to be using it further into the future now that I have a paid subscription to 11 Labs' voice software. I'm probably going to be using it to create crazy freaking advertisements. I might even be using it for this advertisement that you guys already listened to. Who knows? Yeah, I want to know your guys' opinions because I love the direction we're going, but I'm also really scared of it because it could be used. But I mean, that's like anything, right? Anything can be used for good. Anything can be used for evil. It depends on where you're coming from. So I'm gonna stop talking because I keep rambling. But just let me know what you guys' opinion on this is. So
well, I don't have much of an opinion. Sorry to cut you off, Colin.
Yeah, you're fine.
Mine's very quick. I don't have much of an opinion, but the AI generated softwares are actually on the radar quite heavily online. Obviously, people like Elon Musk is talking about it, so I believe there will be some kind of governing factor to using it, and there will be. I believe there'll have to be some kind of certification to even sell the stuff.
I think it depends on whose voice you're. I was gonna say I think it depends on whose voice you're using. If that's what you're referring to.
No, of course, but I think there's gonna be much harder terms and agreements and privacy policies that you'll have to abide to in the future
because of AI.
The more this becomes more
right.
Yeah. So as soon as this becomes available in, let's say, YouTube Studio,
right?
It's been governed, or Twitch, or the moment. No, I'm being serious. The moment they start utilizing it, there's
as a part of like an editing software or something.
Yeah. So I don't really have an opinion as far as using it for good or bad. I really don't.
Gotcha, Colin.
I myself don't use it.
Well, I mean, on the bad side, people can lose jobs. But on the consumer side, this is a huge plus.
Agreed.
I mean, we've all played video games here,
right?
I mean, you play a video game and you go to these NPCs, and heck, even Free Guy, I think was a good movie.
It was good, yeah, I liked it.
It mentioned
RNG. AI chat. Oh my god.
That's what I mean.
RNG dialogue.
That's what I mean. Like the infinite possibility where it just has like a generator where it generates text and it takes these files of someone talking and it turns it into the in-game chat.
Yeah.
So you can pay like a cheap voice actor and it just
I would listen to every lore that came my way.
Exactly. So you can have infinitely generated text based off these people, and you would never have to be bored by like the 5 or 10 dialogue options every time.
The infinite possibilities is insane, dude. What I love about the possibility of this for the side of good is so like an example I keep thinking about in my head that a game that would have benefited from something like this would be Oblivion. I don't know if any of you guys have played Elder Scrolls Oblivion years ago. But the years though. Yeah, years. So I don't know if you remember Carnage. There's Dave, whatever. There's in that game. There's one voice actor that voices like 80% of the male characters within that game. I don't know if you remember that or not, because they only had 3 or 4 voice actors, and it was like one guy that voiced like all the guards, the king in the main storyline, like a couple of like the monarchs or like the
yeah, it's like a Justin Roiland thing.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So
not
what I was
but yeah,
it's the same situation where he voices like 90% of the characters, even background characters. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
I was thinking that this AI boom, a boom or technological boom that is happening right now in society would be really good for games like that, where like they only have one voice actor, but they have to have him do a million reads of dialogue for like all these background characters that he's also voicing. They could just get a little snippet of his voice with an AI with his permission, and then make just type in like a random text generator, be like, all right, ChatGPT, create a dialogue between a mourning wife and a town guard or something, like boom, and like, you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. But now going to the negative side, back to the jobs being lost. Now, what about companies like Audible taking advantage of this, and instead of paying voice actors and art and
Right.
authors for writing material, they just spam the shit out of this, creating these clickbait stories that your wife likes to read
Oh God, yes.
and pump it out.
No, you're right. Well, I would hope if they go in that avenue, they get the rights to those people's voices without just taking them outright.
Well, they can create their own voice, though. All they have to do is change the dialect. Like, I don't know
think
what
about it.
terms
Hatsune Miku levels of just creating a voice actor.
Vocaloid, yeah.
Yeah, just create like your own popular voice actor who does stuff in public and just reads all your books.
I mean, they could easily just like Audible's a huge company. They could just like go through every person that works at Audible and be like, "Hey, we like your voice. Could you sign this paper real quick? Oh, don't even bother what it says. Don't even bother. Oh, can you also talk into this microphone?"
Yeah, but it could be it could literally be as simple as we've updated our privacy policy.
Yeah,
and nobody reads that shit.
Nope.
And it could be in there, and you click accept. You have signed.
Yeah.
Oh, like Microsoft. Windows has fucked me over countless times that way.
Yeah, no,
they say
for
we
sure.
have a new or your phones. We have a new privacy policy from Samsung. Well, I'm not gonna read that shit.
No, yeah, it's like 80 pages long.
Yeah.
Well, no, they purposely do that. I mean, heck, I've had the idea of creating a quick little game or something and putting like a terms of service just for my friends, not like actually putting it out there and just saying like, I own you now.
Yeah, right.
Well, there are void policies.
No. There are. But
they'll
I'm
be
just
thrown
like,
out
just
in
for
court. But
right.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
Well, I think the boons outweigh the negatives, but I also wanted to point out the negatives because this is going to have negatives. It's going to cause jobs, loss of jobs.
Of course.
But then someone might argue that happens within every several generations. Like when the car first came out back in the 1920s or whatever.
All those horses lost their jobs.
Yes, that is true.
No,
that is
I
true.
don't think anyone really lost their jobs because of cars.
I was going to say Coachman, actually. Coachman did.
But at the same time,
they also got their job back as chauffeurs because they could drive people around. And think about all the people who had to maintain the horses.
Do you really think the majority of coachmen went out and got their training to drive to switch jobs? Do you really think that happened? I don't think so.
I mean, if you don't have a horse anymore, I mean, I guess you kind of have to.
That's a very poor negative because the thousands or millions of jobs in the factories now that are created from the automobile industry.
True.
Yeah.
And think back then, cars were harder to maintain, so you went up to a gas station and they had like 5 guys run out to your car, check your oil pressure, check your tire pressure.
So you're saying this isn't a fair comparison because AI doesn't have like a. Well, I mean, there are servers. You have to have an IT guy, but I mean, like you're replacing 100 voice actors with one IT guy.
It's now to come back to the positives for the gaming world. For me, I hate lore more so because I've heard the same lore 100 times since
you just
my childhood.
do a ChatGPT question, like sum up the lore of this video game.
Yeah, what we played was a Warlander, Dark Tide. Was that what it's called?
Warhammer. Warhammer. Yeah. Oh my god.
So and you went through that prologue of creating your own storyline. Now, if you did that, where it created the RNG lore, that would be spectacular. If I do all that legwork and then I get my own unique story, and at the end you get a whole clip of everything you've done.
So do you think it'd be really? So you want a game where the main lore is all RNG's AI devised? I was thinking.
No. It could be either or. Now, if you want me to go find the secrets and I have my own secret lore, I think that would be
like procedurally generated. Yeah,
cat's ass. Yeah,
I was gonna say like side quest stuff, like background chatter would be.
Yeah, I think I don't think you could ever do lore with AI because the problem with lore as AI is you want to make a story because this specifically talks about. It will be for video game dialogue for smaller characters.
Yeah, they're called bards.
It'll allow
they're called bards.
Bigger areas will be for the writers. So you'll have the game written and all your story written, and then you'll just have these people come in and do the little stuff.
Right. So
I think
true.
Yeah, I
But
think
what if you could select the voice of that dialogue, randomized voice for the dialogue
that would
that you talk to the whole time.
I don't know.
Something
I just
something like that I can agree with, but something like a completely AI generated war game,
right.
not so much, unless it's like the entire thing. It's like completely AI generated game.
So yeah, I mean, I just I mean, I think this is cool. I think it's cool. I mean, so there's some bigger negatives with AI as a whole in terms of art. Like AI generated art has a lot of negatives with it rather than boons or positives. That side of AI has some serious moderation issues, or like the fact that their training data is based off of people's art that didn't give permission to do so. All of that specific AI aside, the aside where like ChatGPT scours the internet for like articles and stuff, and that's how it learns how to speak. That's how it learns how to understand language. That stuff is really cool to me. I think the fact that it can create novels is really cool, as like rough drafts, not necessarily just. I don't want a completely AI generated novel. I still think a writer would have to go through it to verify that it sounds human, like it sounds good, coherent.
Yeah.
And then like with permission, and then the voice side of it, where like AI can create voices, recreate voices, as long as the person that has that voice gave permission. I don't see an issue with it. I think this is a great boon for the video game industry.
The fact that it's so late into the 21st century that this is coming out, for the length of time that the PC, that the PC world is what it is, that this is now just becoming a thing, an established.
Well, you got to remember, up until 1920s, everyone had horses and buggies. But as soon as the 20s hit, everyone had cars.
Are you mocking me? This sounds mocking. Are you mocking me?
He is, because that was a terrible metaphor.
They were so screw you.
For both of you.
You guys are so mean to me. Leave me alone.
I made the joke, and you guys are stuck with the stallions there. So
screw your sarcasm, Colin. Screw you guys.
No, I get what you're saying.
With our advancement now, I'm just kind of shocked that we haven't progressed into this AI.
Right. With this stuff, like, I feel as though it should have happened, decades ago for sure.
Or perhaps it has, but nobody's released it or maybe it just wasn't a hit. But I would have been flabbergasted years ago for this being released. This should be on mobile.
What'd you say, Colin?
I think people were just too scared of it. I mean, you think back to when robots were replacing jobs in factories.
True. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say Terminator.
No, that's another thing. I think back to the whole like how jobs things are going to work. I think it's going to be like with machines. Certain jobs can be replaced by machines, but you have to have a majority human workers in your company type thing versus AI.
I don't think that's actually a law, but I understand what you're trying to say.
I think there's certain like things that have to be met for you to, but I don't know. Anyway. But
all right, that's cool. But so I mean, so let's end the conversation. Move on to the next section. I just wanted to end it with the ending note that AI is going to be a great boon for single developers that don't have access to the resources that they might not be able to get otherwise to create their dream. I think that is the cool part of this in relation to video game creation. That the single duo developers out there that are making indie games are now able to use AI tools to make their jobs way easier and make the video games that they wanted to make. I think that's freaking awesome. So, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the regulation of it goes in the future. I mean, I guess that's going to go into another subject going from there. I don't know if anyone's seen the videos of Congress talking to Chu. I forget, his last name is Chu, the TikTok CEO or whatever. Oh my lord, like the one congressman asked him if TikTok accesses the home Wi-Fi, and the TikTok CEO Chu was like, yes, I'm not sure I understand the question. And he goes, so you're saying TikTok accesses my home Wi-Fi, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?" Like,
yeah, we're still on the politics sides here of dinosaurs still running your country.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get into politics. I just wanted to bring that up as a side note to this, because I'm just trying to point out the fact that AI is moving so fast that because of that, our dinosaur politicians are not going to be able to keep up with it in terms of laws. They don't even know how the internet works. Like, how are they gonna regulate AI?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they don't.
Yes.
At the end of the day, no matter what if the judgment is that TikTok gets banned,
Yes.
I predict within a month that will be reverted because of the outroar of every citizen in
150 million Americans.
Yeah, like this Congress, they really have nothing better to do.
They're just trying to find a scapegoat. It's just a scapegoat, dude. That's all it is.
When this app is more than acceptable in both China and Japan, the strictest country when it comes to technology,
right?
They're okay with it. And here's America saying, "Nah, no, we don't want our citizens making money off this app." No.
Right. Or the fact that Facebook does way more privacy related issues.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
Not to mention he stole the idea from the ground up. So,
all right.
I think China's okay with it because they own the app and they get free American data. But other than that, I mean, let's continue on.
They can get that. They can get that through whatever. It's not. What's whatever. Let's move on. So let's go to the next subject. We're going to talk about games we're looking forward to. Games we've been playing. We haven't done the podcast in a few weeks, so obviously we should have been playing something within that time, whether or not it be something new or old.
We should have been. I mean, you and I played Valheim for a little while there.
About a week.
But that's about the gist of it. The only thing I'm waiting for still is Star Wars. And surprise, you got to wait exactly a month to play that game.
Okay, I was gonna say your mic is cracking a little bit there, but it was crackling. Yes, I'm looking forward to Jedi Survivor. That game looks friggin' sweet. I still have yet to play the first one. It's on EA. It's on Game Pass, and I've had it downloaded for like a year now. I've yet to play.
Yeah, it's also on sale on Steam for literally next to nothing.
Like $5.
Which is a big piss off because I paid twice. One, when I had the Xbox, I paid $90 for the game, and again on Steam because I decided to play it again. I paid like $75,
and it's on Game Pass now, and it's $5 on Steam.
Yeah, so
they just gave you 2 middle fingers, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we've been playing Valheim with mods. I'm really enjoying it. That game is amazing. It's extremely freaking difficult. The wall that you hit. And I don't know if that's because of mods, and I don't think it is. I think it's just the way the game is designed. Like, there's like a wall that you hit that you have to get over, like a hump. There's like a difficulty curve there that is ridiculous once you hit it. Other than that, I'm really enjoying the game. It's great. We haven't gotten to the new content yet that was released like earlier this year or end of last year, like Mistlands, I guess is the update name. We haven't even reached the Mistlands yet, so... I have no opinion on that, but as of right now, it's really good. I give it a thumbs up. Anyone who wants to get into it, I would suggest maybe looking into it. It's good. I've also been playing Remnant from the Ashes, a game that came out like 5 or 6 years ago. It's a third-person like Dark Souls shooter. Like you got boss battles, you have loot drops, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a Souls-like game.
Yeah. I've been playing it with my wife for the last couple days. It's good. I played through it before years ago when it first came out, and I'm playing through it again now because my wife hasn't touched it. And the reason for that is because I was going to follow that up with the game I'm looking forward to and why I'm playing it now is the sequel that's going to be coming out later this year. Remnant 2 is its semi-official title as of now. I don't know if there's going to be a From the Ashes like subtitle to that, but I'm really looking forward to it. I have it wishlisted and favorited or whatever. I'm waiting for it to come out. That game is amazing. If anyone's never heard of it, you should check it out. It's really good. Remnant from the Ashes. I give it 2 thumbs up. It is definitely worth a play. I haven't really been playing anything else, to be honest. Like I've been so freaking busy with work and stuff, which is one of the reasons why we haven't really been doing the podcast. I've been so damn busy, and then when the weekend comes around, I'm just not in the mood because I'm so Overworked and tired.
Excuses set aside, I'm surprised that you're not playing Resident Evil.
Oh, 4? The remake?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I actually told Megan I am going to be playing it, but I'm waiting for the VR mod to come out because there's a developer.
Oh, it was really, yeah, see, that's what I was expecting, was for you to be on the...
Yes. There is I bought the Resident Evil 4 VR Oculus exclusive version for Megan about a year ago when it first came out, and I played through like the first couple levels, the first like a couple hours rather of the game in VR, but the graphics were kind of trash. So, and the batteries on the Oculus do not last long at all. So, I want to play the remastered with like super HD graphics, like HDR on full blast, 4K. I want that in VR on my $1,000 freaking VR Index headset. So, I'm waiting for the.
I mean, when they release it on the Index, it's the quality's going to be there.
Well, it's not. They're not releasing the game specifically for the Index. It's a mod that's going to work with it. But
yes. But very seldom do you get a janky mod on the Index.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have motion sickness. I don't know how to phrase this right, but you're gonna be puking your ass off. I can see that.
I don't think so. Why? I
see you sitting in your beanbag chair. I see it. I see it.
I mean, he might not be puking, but he will be screaming like a little girl.
I will.
Like
yes,
he usually does.
I on my stream about a year and a half ago, I was playing a VR mod for Resident Evil 7. Or was it Resident Evil 7? I believe. I played a first-person VR mod for that with like full motion controls, and there was one part during the boss battle that did make me sick, like motion sick. But up until that point, it was completely fine. Like it worked perfect. And the guy that made that mod is the one making the Resident Evil 4 remake mod as well right now. So I'm looking forward to it. That's why I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting for that mod to come out in full release, and then I will be purchasing it and playing it on stream. So.
Keep an eye out for Cyber J Man on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook if you want to see a grown man scream.
I scream a lot.
It's hilarious. I actually have to mute my Discord. That's how bad it gets. So.
Wait a minute. All right. Did you guys play anything? I guess Carnage, you've been playing Valheim with me. So.
Yeah. Well, ever since I died off from New World, I didn't even make it till the patch that's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Did you want to talk about that?
Absolutely not. Colin. I've talked about it enough.
I guess that's true.
I mean, I haven't really been playing any new games. I mean, I'm gonna try Ghost Recon Breakpoint like next week. My dad's playing it, so he wants me to play.
I was gonna say, it must be with your dad.
I was gonna say that game is freaking terrible.
Trash.
I was like, if you want a good recon game, play the one before that. That one was actually really good. Like it was open world.
Any other game but that.
Play any other game. Play Far Cry.
I do. And other than that, my friends have needed a person to fill their party, so I've been playing Fortnite with them.
Oh, damn, they made you a filler. Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play no build, apparently it's pretty...
Oh, no. Yeah, we play no build because everyone's on console and use controllers and buildings for sweats.
Yeah. I've considered loading it up because there's a no build.
But... I actually would like to give it a try, too, if you're down to try Carnage.
I'll play with you. I mean, it's really good. I mean, you actually have to be able to shoot now because you can't just crank 90s and death trap someone.
Oh, right. Yeah, oh my god. I can't... The hotkeys, I've seen the videos of people doing, like, towers within literally seconds, dude. Just, like up in spirals. And then they're able to cut holes out in walls, take pop shots, and then immediately close those holes. Like, that stuff is ridiculous. Like, I know there's a skill ceiling, but damn.
Yeah, dude, we're like 6 years too late to complain about that.
Yeah, right?
No, like, I mean, I used to be able to get 30 in build mode, and now that I'm in no build, I can constantly 5.
Oh, like 5th place? Really?
Yeah, 5th place.
Wow.
In like battles of 100.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, you can actually risk a little pop shot at the distance without fucking somebody doing a tower on you.
Yeah,
I've
right?
seen someone do that. Like, there's videos of this guy, like, taking a pop shot with a sniper and, like, taking some damage, and they just sit down in a chair and they just watch this tower get built. It's hilarious.
In the end, for him to snipe the guy at the top of the tower.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But
that's really good.
Even Ninja, the overrated streamer of Fortnite, even he plays no build. 100% does not do any other game modes. So that's telling you something. I'm kind of glad that Fortnite's going in that direction because they weren't reaching out to other avenues.
No.
Of people that just like the the third. Well, I guess it's third-person shooter. So
Right.
yeah, I'm willing to give that a try. I mean, maybe we could stream that one night on our
Our
podcast
podcast stream. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Definitely not
Press
tonight
C, number
because
4
it's
Carnage,
Sunday. Yep. Press C, number 4 Carnage. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that next weekend. I'm down for that. Let's set a schedule and let's knock it out. We'll play Fortnite together
Yeah,
on
sure.
stream. So, cool. So Colin, any games that you're looking forward to? You said you're playing Fortnite right now as a seat warmer. Did you have any games you're looking forward to other than Zelda? I know you're gonna say that.
That's really it. I mean, there's probably some other games in there that I just haven't seen pop up. This summer is mostly about movies for me because you have like the Mario movie, Indiana Jones, Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Gotcha.
and then like 12 other million movies that are supposed to release.
Those all sound great, except for the very first one he said.
What was the first one he said? I actually wasn't.
I think it was the first one, the Mario movie.
Oh, you're not looking forward to that?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
I
so
love Chris Pratt, and I do not want to.
okay.
Okay. So is it just because Chris Pratt, or do you not believe if Chris Pratt wasn't there and it was like the voice actor for Mario, what would you think of it?
I'd probably be way more hyped for it, to be honest.
No, yeah.
They'd be better off using the AI generated.
Oh, damn.
Okay. But Carnage
Or
on
literally
that note,
any Italian. Any Italian.
Any Italian. Hey, you know what? I'll get my grandmother to go up there and
And I would love it.
It's me, Mario.
I have to take that back. I said this before. I will watch it only because of Jack Black.
Jack Black is gonna carry that cast, dude. He's gonna
Yeah.
carry it. I was gonna say
Smash Bros coming after. And...
I was gonna say Carnage to amend Chris Pratt's reputation. I saw a video of interview like a month ago where he apparently he was on like a talk show with also the voice actor that does Luigi in the movie, and he was talking to the interviewer, the talk show host, and he was like. He was like, I understand people's, he was saying this. He's like, I understand people's outrage about me not sounding like Mario. And then he did, right after doing that, he did a perfect, like, woohoo, ha-ha, like Mario, like sound effect, like a full couple sentences of sound effects and stuff. And then he goes, that's what it would sound like for 2 hours if I were to do that. And then his co-host, or, his, co-actor that does the voice of Luigi said, and is that what you guys want? You want him to do that for 2 hours? And everyone on the internet, was like, oh my God, he actually can do the voice. And then the argument made sense at that point that, like, I guess it would make sense for him not to want to do that voice for 2 hours because it might get on people's nerves. But I disagree because I feel like my argument against that opinion is you play Mario games like Mario World. You play that game, and every time you jump in that game, he goes woohoo, woohoo, like you play that game for like 8 to 10 hours.
You can play Mario Kart. All you do is hop to hear the woohoo.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all you do.
Yeah,
or you shoot a shell. That's the only reason for it.
Yeah, and you play those games for hours on end. I know there are people that do that, so that you can't tell me that there's a 2-hour movie where he does that every other line.
You know why he's not going to do that? Like, for all intents and purposes, that was press. You know why he's not going to do that?
Why?
Because, like, with Avatar Way of Water, there's going to be people who are going to be like, that's cultural appropriation that a not Italian male is doing an Italian voice in a movie about Italian brothers.
Okay.
That is what press is going to be like after that movie is released if he does an Italian voice.
Well, he is, though. He is doing a voice. He's doing an accent.
Like stereotypical Mario, because Mario is stereotypical Italian.
Well, I guess.
He is.
Yeah. I still feel like he's at the line of being enough of a fictional character to not be a quote-unquote cultural appropriation. He is a fictional character, and anyone who sees him other than as such is just reaching. They are reaching, like...
Yeah, like people with Avatar Way of Water, and yet they still did that. So,
Yeah, but those people are literally on drugs, so...
What?
Yeah, those people that complained about that are on drugs.
Exactly.
Let's
like everyone on the internet. But anyway,
exactly. So Carnage, are there any upcoming games you were talking about? So you said Jedi Survivor, correct? Was there any other games that you were looking forward to? Any oddballs? Maybe an indie game for perhaps that you're looking forward to?
No.
No. Okay, just a simple no.
No, because I was going to talk about this before. we've been burned way too many times on looking into future games and getting the hype.
Yeah, it's happened a lot. Yeah.
And then we had games like Cyberpunk that had a lot of hype, and then had nothing but problems on release.
Yeah.
I said to you before that going down memory lane, StarCraft 2 had the same thing where they had like a good year and a half of hype of buying this game, and after buying the collector's edition for 120 some odd fucking dollars, it turned out to be shit. So no, I am not looking forward to any game.
Right.
Except for Star Wars.
Got you. I was gonna. Sorry. Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna mention. I remembered one indie game that I will be excited for once it even gets past like all the stuff. It's called Haunted Chocolatier. It's by the same guy who made Stardew Valley. But
nice. Is it is it a life sim? Is it like the same genre?
I don't know. I'll post something in chat. It doesn't look like it's kind of like that. It's not Stardew Valley, but it is. It has the same art style.
Okay.
So that's. But it's called Haunted Chocolatier, and apparently it looks really good.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, I'm watching your little trailer here. That's really interesting art style. That's cool.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm interested in that.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say there was 2 games I'm actually looking forward to, and one of them I'm a little hesitant on getting too excited for. One of them is called Redfall, and then the other one.
No, they have never had a good release. Never.
The people who made it, really? Oh, okay.
Never.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm apprehensively excited for it. So it's on my radar, but not necessarily at the top of my radar. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna get this as soon as it comes out. I'm gonna wait a week or two and see what the reviews look like. But it is on my wish list on Steam. I am looking forward to it, and I'm waiting to see what it looks like. So if anyone who doesn't know, Redfall is a upcoming first-person shooter developed by Arcane Studios, Austin. They are the same people. It's being published by Bethesda Softworks. They are the same people who made the Dishonored games, and those games are freaking amazing. So, and this is a 4-person first-person shooter co-op horde game. It is essentially Left 4 Dead but with vampires, and I am extremely looking forward to it. So. I think it's gonna be freaking sick. I mean, I like I said, I'm apprehensive about it because it's probably gonna have problems. It's probably gonna have server issues. It is a co-op survivor game, and Bethesda has had pretty bad releases. It's like Skyrim didn't release on a perfect note, years ago, so they had to update it pretty regularly until it got to where it is now. But nothing's perfect, so I'm definitely apprehensive, but I'm looking forward to it. The second one I'm looking forward to is Minecraft Legends. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. That game, actually, I'm really excited for. It's a third-person strategy action game. So the best way I can compare it to is it's like I'm trying to think of what the hell the name of those games that came out years ago. There was like 30 of them. It was they were like army games where they were like horde games where you were on like a horseback and you had like a spear and you would run through hordes of enemies doing like crazy moves, building up your special bar and like doing crazy world destroying moves. I forget what the hell they were called. They came out on like the PS2, the PS3, they were Xbox 360. They came out for years. There's so many of them too. I can't remember the hell the name of the series, but it's essentially that. Like it's a strategy game, but it's like a hack and slash, where you like just go through hordes of enemies, you gain gear, you have a strategy element to it where you have to mow down enemies to get to a fort. You have to figure out how to get into the fort without dying. Like it actually looks really cool. I'm really excited for it. So, yeah. So those are the 2 games I'm looking forward to. And then I'm gonna bring it up like I did last time a few weeks ago. I'm still waiting for Wizard with a Gun. The indie game. I still have that wish listed and followed. I'm looking forward to that coming out later this year. That game looks freaking amazing. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Anyway, you guys got anything else?
No, not really.
All right. Did you guys want to move on to
nothing about TF2, Colin? Not today.
Oh, actually, you just reminded me. So Colin, because you're such an avid fan of TF2, and I'm assuming other Valve-like games such as Portal, have you played Counter-Strike?
Yes, I have played
Of
CS:GO.
course she's
Are
playing
you,
Counter-Strike.
are you excited? What's your opinions on or are you excited for the remake, the Counter-Strike 2?
I played it for
CS2?
10 minutes, got sniped 12 times with a guy with a pistol, and then immediately logged off and have never CS:GO again.
That's Counter-Strike. that's Counter-Strike.
No, I know it's Counter-Strike. I googled it, and that was Counter-Strike. But
Googled it.
I googled it. I had to make sure I wasn't hallucinating.
no, like, that's the problem. There's such a high skill ceiling to get in.
There is,
and
there is, and the game has been out for so damn long that the only people who still play it are like the experts, the ones you're gonna get wrecked.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. On that note, Shroud was one of the first ones to have the closed beta.
Yeah.
And on that day, he had over 120,000 people watching him.
Wow.
His queue times were like over 20 minutes to get into a fucking match.
Wow.
120,000 people watched him queue for fucking match. It was sickening, man.
Jeez. Okay, that's crazy.
Like, and, you know, a QXC or X, whatever the fuck his name is,
XQC, yeah.
XQC had the same thing, and it's fuck these guys, man. Like, this is why people don't have viewers, man. Because same with like Tim the Tablet, same thing. He was watching another person play this game, and he had like 90-some thousand. It's like, how? Like, why are people doing this? And they're all watching actual people play games. Like,
right.
Come on, guys. Like, share the love. Anyways,
Yeah, raid people, damn it.
you know.
Yeah, that's cool. So you, that's a no then from you. So let's move.
Yeah, no.
Let's move on to the next section. The last section, we're already at an hour and 20 minutes. We're getting a little close here. You guys had made mention that you wanted to redo the game we did a few weeks ago where we do one letter, the first letter of a video game, and you have to come up with a video game with that letter, and we're going to give each other the letters going in a down order. So, like, Dave's going to give me one, I'm going to give Colin one, so on and so forth. Yeah, so let's do it. Dave, you want to go ahead and start us off by giving me a letter? And also, just to reiterate, if it's a first letter, you may use that letter in a double-worded game. So, like, let's say you say H, right? I say Halo Wars. Hey, that would count. That would count because the title is Halo Wars. And also, the word "the" does not have to be part of the title. So if you say Z and I say The Legend of Zelda, that would technically work.
I think that starts with an L, but that's semantics for later.
Okay, I mean if you feel that way, we can amend that. That's fine.
I mean, if you have, let's say you have a reasonable, what's the word I'm looking here? Objection to why it doesn't count, then we'll
bring it up
come to that.
Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. All right, give me one.
Letters. What?
What'd you say?
Yeah, Carnage, you had to give him a letter.
Yeah, I was working on it.
I thought you said a letter. That's why I said what?
Nope. It said, let's go with P. Peter.
Para. What the hell's the name of that? What's that scary game? There's a scary game.
I know what you're thinking about.
Shoot. Am I allowed to cheat by looking through my library, my Steam library?
No.
I have it in my library. Paranormal. Fuck.
Do you want me to give it to you?
Yeah, give it to me.
Phasmophobia.
Thank you. My brain was on break, dude. All right, Phasmophobia. I don't get a point for that. That sucks. All right.
No.
Colin, your letter is N.
Near automata.
Nomenomina.
Yeah, that one. The near automata.
Automata.
I think is.
Automata.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
That's. I will accept that. Anomina. All right, Colin gets a point.
Carnage. Your letter is O.
Oh. Shit.
Oh shit! I don't think that's a game. Oh man, you are stumped.
Well, who wanted to play this fucking game?
You're the one that wanted to play it.
I keep thinking of developers, not games.
Oh my god. Are you
He's
stumped?
laughing because apparently I played a game with the letter O.
All right, I'm gonna just give you this. I'm gonna give you. Well, I'll give you another one because I just like went on Steam and did like a search for games with O in it. No, you would have never.
Whoa, you went on Steam. This guy with a photographic memory just looked at every game under the alphabet.
Well, no, I was just giving you like a random letter. I thought, but like I went after you were having a hard time.
I kept thinking One Piece. I was like, One Piece.
Oh, there is that. Do you want another letter, or do you just want?
No. It's dead.
All right. Oh, ready when you are.
Oh, it's my go.
Yes.
L.
Well, I'm not gonna do Legend of Zelda since we gave that as an example earlier. Lemmings.
All right, that's one. You.
Lemmings. All right.
What
Colin.
kind of game is it?
What?
Kidding.
It was a music.
Yeah.
It was a music.
I can vouch for him. I know what Lemmings is.
It came out on the PS Vita, maybe the PSP. Actually, they came out on PSP originally, but it was a PSP game that was like a music. It was like a Geometry Wars, but with like music or whatever. Does that make sense? You'd have to look up the screenshots for it to make sense. It's extremely artistic. Like it's got like crazy colors and stuff. It's like Tetris but with music, and it's all over the place. All right, Colin, your letter is J.
J. I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't
stumped.
think I've heard of a game that starts with J. No, I don't know. Do you got one for example?
I do actually. That's why I brought the letter up because that was the first one I thought of.
Coming out.
There's
one coming out.
Oh,
Spit it out, man.
Go ahead.
Jack and Daxter.
I never heard.
You never heard of Jack and Daxter? It's a classic. Classic. No. Oh my god.
How classic is it?
A PS2 classic. It sold millions of copies.
I want you to remember my first ever video game console was a PS3.
Oh right, you're like fucking 13, right?
Bruh.
All right. Carnage, your letter is B. B as in boy.
B as in boy. Batman, Arkham Asylum.
Ooh, very good. Very good. All right.
F.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
All right. Lame.
Sorry, it was the first one to come to mind. My bad. I guess I'll come up with a random one next time. All right, Colin, your letter is I.
Interstellar, I think, might be a game.
I was like, isn't that a movie?
No, I know it's a movie, but there's probably a game. I don't know. I. It's also one I don't hear a lot of. I don't believe I've had an I game.
Interstellar would have worked if you had come up with a second word for that game, because there's like 30 Interstellar games, but they all have a subtitle with them. So.
Well, then you can't say certain game. Like you said, Five Nights at Freddy's. There are specific ones that you have to call out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't.
No, I disagree because Five Nights at Freddy's insinuates I'm referring to the first one.
Okay. All right, I'll take the L on that one.
Okay.
I could not come with an I.
Here's some examples: Interstellar Space, Genesis, Interstellar Pilot, Interstellar Marines, Interstellar Pilot 2, Interstellar Rift.
Nice.
Okay.
The game that came to my mind since your PS3 is Infamous.
Oh god, that game was so good.
I want to play that. But
I want to play through it again too. I wonder if they have an emulated version of it. I don't know.
I think 2 is on Steam, possibly.
Is it? Is it? Oh god, I hope you're right. I want to play that
Hmm.
game again. That game was so freaking good.
No, it's not on Steam,
What?
but you can just do it like an emulator.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Well, because it was PlayStation, so.
Oh, true. All right, let's do one more run through. I have 2 points. Carnage has 1. Colin has 1. Let's do one more run through, and then.
So Carnage, V.
Vagina. Oh, sorry.
A V?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just thought of a classic one actually for the Sega.
I thought of one.
Is there a Van Helsing game?
There
No.
is, but do you have the rest of the
V
title?
V Rising. That's easier.
V Rising. Good.
You know,
I
I would have also thought you might have said Valheim.
Ah!
Damn.
Literally staring at me
Damn.
on my PC too. Yeah, no, I didn't even.
For anyone who's
Wow.
curious, the game I thought of was Vector Man for the Sega Genesis.
Jesus.
And the reason I thought of that was because that was a game I played with my grandma when I was younger. I'd actually go over to her house and play it with her. That game was fun as hell. So, yeah. All right, Carnage, my turn.
Nice.
Oh,
just trying to give you-
Carnage got it, so I'm gonna give him a point. I forgot to write it down. Point there.
Let's see. Let's use the letter T. Remember, the doesn't count.
Damn. I almost said Stellaris, as in Stellaris, but.
Oh wow, there's one that I know.
Shoot. Time. Fuck. It was a classic. Time Cop? No, Time Warrior. Time Splitters. Got it.
Just so you know, you said like 3 of them during your stream yesterday with
Games that start with T.
yeah, we said Terraria.
Yeah, Terraria.
Oh, Terra Online. Right. Hey, Time Splitters works too. Screw you.
No, it works. You got it, and I confirmed it. It is a thing.
Confirmed.
Wow. Okay. Listen here.
Well, I did Interstellar, and you had to Google to make sure that was a thing, and it was a thing with like 1 million games. So, just confirming that it was something.
Okay. I wasn't trying to get on your ass about it. I was just saying, like, it's funny because your age, the age gap there is showing, and it's funny. So.
Could have also said Tetris because he said that like 5 minutes ago too.
Yeah,
TF2.
that's true. Oh my God, Colin. All right, let's do this last one, Colin. We can see if we can tie it up here because Carnage has 2. I have 3. I guess I win.
Yeah,
either
you know,
way.
and yeah, you win.
All right, well, let's just do it last one for shits and
Yeah,
giggles. Colin, your letter is B.
Back to the Future,
Is it just called
It's
Back
a-
to the Future?
or Back to the Future Lego Dimensions expansion pack.
I will allow you to take the lead if you can give a 2-name game with the same letter. Doesn't have to be B. 2-name
You
game,
want
same
to
letter.
give him an extra point for that if he gets it?
I'll let him take the lead. Mr.
Battlefield.
Know-it-all.
Or
No.
Battlefield 1.
No, that doesn't
Two
count.
words.
No. It has to be a 2-word game, and both words have to start with the same letter.
Okay.
Oh, I just thought of one, but I can't think of. It's like, I almost said Bugs Bunny, but that's not it. It was
Bakuman battles.
Bakuman
Bakuman
Bakuman battles. What is that? I'm gonna Google it now.
I don't
What-
know. I don't think it's a game. I was just like,
Were you just say gibberish?
oh, I was close.
No, it was-
It's Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Oh man, I would have gave you like dude. You would have won the next game we played.
I was so close.
we would have pocketed those points. We would have pocketed them.
Aw, oh well.
All right, I guess I won that one. That's awesome.
Good game, man.
All right, good game, guys. All right, I think that's where we're gonna stop the stream. We're at an hour and a half. Sorry that it ran on a little bit far there. So, Carnage, you want
It
to?
is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Carnage, you want to head us off?
All right, guys, that's going to be another episode of Press C for Carnage. Check us out on our socials, Press C #4 Carnage, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.